Okay. Okay, so let's get started. So Hare Krishna, everyone. Today is, as you know, the last session of our course. This is the week 8 of this course. So I hope you all had a good time, and I hope you all were able to learn a few things. So today I decided, I've been talking for past 7 weeks, and I'm sure I bored you all. So today I decided we will have you all speak, and you all share with everyone here what you learned in the class and what you liked about the class. Okay, so I'll give each one of you 5 minutes to speak. So to start off, we have Tashi and Tanya. Tashi, Tanya, please go ahead. You can share your screen and start. Over to you, Tashi and Tanya.
It's gonna take some time because we're both a bit like technologically disabled, so we have
you're
to,
not able to share?
we can, but we have no idea how, so it's gonna take us some time. We do have some idea how, but we still have to like put it on. So
Okay, no worries. So you know what? In the meantime, who wants to go? Just raise your hand. Who's ready to talk? And then I can call on you. Otherwise, I have to pick somebody here. Okay. How about Arush? I will pick my son. Arush, go.
Yeah. Okay, so I did one on Pascal's wager. Now, what this basically.
Yeah. Why don't you point it towards camera?
Okay, so can you all read this?
Maybe too hard to read, but it looks like a quadrant to me.
Yeah. So, no, you can't read this.
That's okay, Arush. Talk through it. Yeah, it may. That's okay, Arush. Just talk through it. You can point to it when you are talking.
Wager. So, I know. So there are multiple reasons why you should believe in God. And we've already covered that, like consciousness, how, we can sense emotions, a lot of other things. However, even then, why you should believe, there are 4 things. If, say there's no God and you believe in God, you will live a happier life than most atheists. You will be a better person. You will live a healthier life and so many more things. If there's no God and you're an atheist,
So
you're
Arush,
right.
hold on. Arush, hold on. So that was your quadrant 1, right? So that is
Again,
the first quadrant, that you believe in God and there is no God.
this is the quadrant right here. If there's no God.
Okay.
If there's no God and you're an atheist here, that basically means you get nothing. Because even if you're right, well, I mean, you got nothing. Say God exists and you're a believer. You will reunite with Krishna in eternal bliss and Golok Vrindavan. So this is quadrant 3. You will reunite.
Yeah. So Arush, go slow. So in the third quadrant, you are saying you believe in God and God actually exists. So what happens?
In
You go
God.
to
And God and Krishna is there. Specifically Krishna.
Yeah.
You will reunite with Krishna in eternal bliss in Golok Vrindavan. Basically.
Okay. So that is where Krishna lives, right? So you will go there. That's what you're trying to tell. Okay, excellent. Okay, go to the fourth quadrant now.
The fourth quadrant here is if you're an atheist and God does exist, you missed out on this great opportunity and you got nothing because, again, you will die and you will be born again.
Okay. So what is the summary? What is the conclusion of this research? That it's always better?
It is just better for you to believe in God. It is better for you to believe in God and, chant the holy name of Sri Hari every day.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Arush. All right. Who wants to go next? Okay, then I'll have to ask. Okay, Avnit. Excellent. Thank you, Avnit, for raising your hand. Go ahead. And if you want to share your screen, or if you just want to talk through it. Okay.
I have learned so much about the Bhagavad Gita in this class.
Yeah, speak little loudly, but. or come closer?
I have learned so much about Bhagavad Gita in this class.
Okay.
I learned that true happiness does you don't need money to have true happiness. I also learned about karma, that God is creator of the universe, and all your actions are created by God.
Mhm.
And my on this in this class was the topic about karma.
Okay. Thank you, Avni. Avni, you want to say something or you want to share?
Yeah, I learned about the reincarnation, that your body is a vehicle and the soul is like the driver. And then
Soul is the driver.
your
Yes.
soul is basically immortal because your body is just the shell in which your soul is carried. And then when your body dies, your soul gets given to another body. Yeah.
Very nice. That's excellent. What else? Any
I also learned about karma.
principle of karma. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you, Avni and Avnet. That's very nice. Okay. Who wants to go next? Just raise your hand. Okay. Tashi and Tanya are ready. Go ahead, girls. Over to you.
The slides weren't working for us, so we decided we would just talk and read off the slides.
Oh, what happened? You're not able to share?
We have no idea how to share, so
There is a share screen, but there is a share screen on the bottom. You see there is security, participants, chat, and share screen icon with an arrow pointing upwards. Do you see that?
Yes, when we try that, it doesn't work for us.
What does it say?
Is it because of Apple laptop?
It says I click security and privacy thing, and then it shows us a screen. And
Okay.
whenever we click Zoom, it doesn't do it. So.
Oh, okay, no problem. Why don't you? Let's do this. You talk about it here, and you send in the WhatsApp. Ask your dad to send the presentation so everyone can see later. Go ahead.
Okay, so what we learned and liked. So what we liked about the class was that how the discussions were open for comment and that we weren't given a lot of homework. So things we learned in class: the cycle of life and death. We learned that life is infinite and that after death we will be reborn. Some people even remember their past lives, and there's much speculation on the topic. Another
Excellent.
thing we learned about is karma, and everything we do has a positive, negative, or neutral reaction in the universe. Karma is the belief that your actions now will affect you in your next life. If you do good and humane things, you will have a happy next life. And if you are unpleasant, rude, and vulgar and stuff, then you will be reincarnated into an unhappy next life. Good actions are referred to as karma. Vikarma is when your actions have a negative effect, and akarma is when your actions have no effect. How science and God can coexist. The entire universe is full of science, but perfectly balanced. If gravity were any stronger, we would be crushed, and if any more inertia, we would all be floating around in space. God makes sure that everything is perfectly balanced. And that was the end.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. This is so beautiful. Thank you. I can't wait to watch your presentation. So please share with everyone. But great job, both of you. Thank you. All right, who's our next volunteer? Who wants to go? You can raise your hand. Okay, yes, Pranjal, please go ahead.
Okay, so I made slides.
Okay.
And 1 second. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so some of the things that I've learned in Bhagavad Gita class, first of all, about the soul. And it's just when we look into the mirror, the person that we see, that isn't our true identity. So like our body isn't our true identity. Our true identity is our soul. And the body is like a car that drives the soul through worldly existence. And then about the mind and senses. So this picture right over here to the right, it shows how the human kind of like works in regard to using its senses and its mind. And I really like this example because I think like it helps me understand something that's kind of complex. But over here, it's just the horses, which are like the senses, and the intellect and the mind working together to guide those senses, and the atma, which is the soul, which is riding in the chariot, and the body is actually the chariot, which is similar to the car example up here. And then about the creator, so there is a creator of the world that is present all around us, and this creator is God. Just every painting needs to have an artist, and every monument needs to have an architect. Our world needs to have a creator, and it does have a creator. Um, and I really like this quote, the unseen is proved by the seen, because even though God is like the unseen, his existence is proved by the seen, which is humans and animals and everything else that we see in the world around us. Then about humans versus animals. So humans and animals are similar in many ways. We all eat, sleep, and we all want happiness. But the aspect that really separates us from these animals is that we've been given the ability to use our intellect and understand God and his ways and be able to become one with God. And about the mode of goodness, so it's basically when you're kind and caring to others, and when you're organized and engaged in spiritual activities such as praying and reciting shlokas and mantras, and performing holy work. So we shouldn't ever entitle the results of our work as our doing. We should always perform our actions and work to the best of our ability and leave the rest on God, as the results of our actions are determined by God. So we shouldn't be doing work just because we want the fruits of our actions. And then some of the things that I liked about the Bhagavad Gita class, first of all, there was a lessons. I really liked learning about all like karma and everything that we learned about. And I also liked the examples because they really helped me understand like some concepts that were more complex, like the chariot example I talked about in the beginning. And the discussions are really nice too, because you could share your opinions and you could hear other people's opinions too, and you just learn a lot more that way. And it was also easy to understand. So yeah.
Wow, what a beautiful presentation. Yeah, lovely.
Thank you.
I'm so glad, Angel, that you were able to learn so much, and what a nice presentation you have prepared. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Yeah. Are your parents around, or no? They're not.
Yeah, they're here.
Right?
No,
Okay.
they're here.
I'm Pranjal's dad.
Yes. Just see how wonderful she prepared the presentation. You should be very proud of her, and she was great in the class. So I'm really feeling very happy that she was able to learn so much. So you should.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the contribution you guys have done a lot. I mean, without you guys, she would not have understood and learned so far. So thank you so much for all the things you have done.
Thank you, sir. Okay. All right. Who wants to go next? Any volunteers? Yes, Aditi, am I seeing a raise of hand from you, or just your hand is on your face?
It's a hand raise.
Okay,
Okay,
go ahead.
so
Yes.
I really enjoyed this Bhagavad Gita class because the topics were all your explanations were very clear. First of all, like we know that there's creator of the universe and is the supreme God, and everything is created by God, including us. And yeah, the purpose of life is to be devoted to the Lord, and to be able to go back to Goloka Vrindavan. We also learned that we have five senses, and the five senses are being like driven by the intelligence. I'm using like the chariot example, and the soul is like the passenger. And another thing I learned is that when doing like another way of like being devoted to the Lord is by doing your duty and like offering the results to the Lord.
Yes.
And yeah. We also did learn about karma, like there will be like a reaction
Yes.
in the action from our actions.
Yes.
And yeah, also we also learned about the fact that, you know, just like the difference between humans and animals, that's another thing we learned. Humans have an intellect, so they know what's right and wrong. And but like also humans, sometimes they do the same thing as many animals do. Like they eat, they sleep, they defend, and what else they do? They, you know, mating. They
just like humans have, right?
they mate,
Animals.
and then but like there are also like differences, like humans and like there are also like many other differences between humans and animals. Like first of all, animals don't divorce, animals don't like get depressed and stuff like that. So
but the humans have the intelligence, right, to find out about God and ask the questions, right?
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. So that's the main thing, and we have to use that intelligence, right, to find out more about God. Okay. Anything else, Aditi? That's it. Okay. All right. Thank you, Aditi. Very nice sharing. I'm glad you were able to learn so many things. Okay, so next is Ashi and Ishan. Go ahead, Ashi and Ishan.
Yeah, hello. So I really like this class because there was no homework and I learned that I was kind of a procrastinator. So I was thinking about why so many people were turning into atheists. And basically, people think only call on God when they need something or stuff like that. And also they think that God will help them through like tests and stuff. And when they don't do as good as they want, they don't believe in God that much. That's why there's so many. And also in Greek mythology, most of the myths are basically just stories telling about how, like what not to do and what to do and other stuff like that. That's why people are mostly turning into atheists because they aren't thinking of God in the right way. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I like that there was no homework.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. What about Ashi? Ashi, go.
I learned about tantras, and I learned about karma, and also
Karma.
different types of people. Like you said, millionaires wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and I like that that you let us talk, and yeah, it's all.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm glad that you both like the class and you learned so much from it. All right. Thank you, both of you. So who wants to go next? Maybe Ela. Ela, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. So, what I liked about the class was that when, like, you explained the topics, like the examples were more relatable and understandable. Like, it's like I noticed when if I try to read like the Bhagavad Gita, then like I don't understand what's going on. Like, it's like so.
That happened to me also, believe me, even now.
Yeah. So. And I also learned like we shouldn't worry about life and death, but we should keep doing our karma for Krishna.
Yes.
And like even if we can't do, for example, like 16 rounds in Brahma Muhurta yet, but we should try to do a little, maybe 2 or 3 rounds, or we can try to read like a spiritual book for some time, or just little by little, because like later when you start doing a little bit, it's like slowly increases and you won't even realize when you've already like got into like 16 rounds or wherever.
Yeah.
And
so Ela, sorry to interrupt you, but for everyone's benefit, what Ela is talking about is when she says rounds, it's like chanting. So you know we have japa beads. Arush, why don't you get your beads so we can share with everyone while I'm talking? So basically, it has 108 beads, and one round is saying the name of God 108 times. So she's talking about, you know, you should chant, and she's saying you can do at least 1 or 2 rounds, and then slowly increase it, right? So the practitioners of this, they do 16 rounds every day. So 16 times 108, for those of you who are math wizards, you know, it's somewhere, it's more than 1,000 times, you know, 1,400 or something like that. So anyway, so that's how we aspire to be. So that's what Ela is talking. Yes, Ela, go ahead.
Yeah, and we can also, like, when we do these things, we become different from, like, this is the difference between animals and humans. Animals can't really do rounds or read books or anything, but we can do these things. And
Yes.
when we do these things, we almost like nourish the soul.
Yes, that's a very important point. These are the food for soul, right? When we chant that holy name or remember God or pray to God, this is what the food for soul, right? Yeah, good point. Go
And
ahead.
and like, oh, also, like, at first, a lot of times what will happen is at first you don't feel like doing any of this stuff, but
Yes,
slowly that's sort of almost like, it's like in everybody's hearts, but then later on slowly it will sort of develop
yes,
and grow so that it'll become more like a routinely habit and something you want to do rather than just because, like, it's
right.
hard to sit and do, like, chant and sit down and do it because, like, it's hard to sit
Yeah, you're right.
and
Yeah. Yeah, so
just,
there is that inertia. I think what Ela is saying, there is inertia in us. You know, we don't want to do spiritual activities, and believe me, this is the same inertia, right? Like nobody wants to do exercise, right? Because it's hard. But when you do exercise, after that you feel good. But nobody wants to. If somebody says, "Okay, we have to run a mile or something else," like, "Oh my God, we have to run now." But after that running, you feel very fresh and energetic, right? It's even though you're physically tired, mentally you're refreshed. So we have that inertia, but we have to overcome it and do these things. And you're saying it becomes a habit then, right? Slowly you start enjoying it and it becomes second nature to you. Yes. What else, Ela? Anything else?
no, that's it. I
Okay,
want to.
excellent, wonderful sharing. Thank you so much, Ela. All right, who wants to go next?
We're able to share the slides now. Thank you. Yeah, could we do it?
Okay, quickly share the slides. Yes, go ahead. Oh, wow, you have Lord Shiva. Ah, I love it. Okay, go ahead.
Should we read it to you guys again,
No,
or?
just cover each slide and talk 1 or 2 points. You don't have to read. It'll take a lot of time. You know? So just go through each slide and just say the main point in that slide.
Okay. We liked that the class was open for discussion.
Yeah.
You can go to the next slide.
Yeah. Fine.
The cycle of life and death. After death, you are reborn into another life.
Yeah.
Everything you do in the universe has a positive, negative, or neutral effect, which is karma. Science and God can coexist because God keeps everything perfectly balanced.
That's a great point. Yeah. Okay. Love your slides. Love your slides. Thank you so much. Okay. So who's going next? Any volunteers, or should I quick? How about we have Anushka go next?
So I was just going to talk.
Oh yeah, please go ahead and talk. Why don't you turn on your camera so everyone can see you, Anushka, if you don't mind?
I'm not able to.
Okay, that's fine. Just go ahead and talk through what you want to discuss.
So what I learned was karma.
Okay.
And how your soul is just like when you die, your soul goes into another body. It's not like your body that is reborn.
Right.
I also learned about like the chariot and the horses thing, that they're like the five senses, and the intelligence drives the five senses with the soul as the rider.
Right, right. Yeah.
And a few things that I liked was that there was no homework. It was easy to understand like the mantras, you explain them. And I also like the interactions.
You like the interactions, yes. All of you were very, very participative, and it was great discussion. Yeah. Anything else, Anushka, you want to share with us?
No, there isn't anything else.
Thank you, Anushka. It was great having you in the class. Okay, who wants to go next? We have Nikita, Divit, Swadha. Who wants to go next? How about Nikita, you go next.
Stuff I liked about the class is like
Oh my God, no,
the
your voice is not.
examples you used. It
No,
made it easier to understand.
Nikita, sorry, your voice is not clear. Try turning off your video and see if that makes it better. I see. Yeah, now try to talk.
Things I liked about the class, I
Yes.
liked the examples. It made it easier for me to understand. And it looked like you put a lot of work in the slides that you made.
Yes.
And some things I learned were how the body is the car, but the spirit soul is the one driving it.
Mm-hmm.
And mind versus
Mind versus intelligence. Yeah, that's a great point. So mind tries to control the chariot, but it's the intelligence which can override the mind, right? That's an important thing we have to remember. So mind is just a collection of thoughts, right? And mind is the one that can be our friend or can be our enemy, depending on how we use it, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay. What else, Nikita?
I learned about karma.
Yes, the
So
law of karma. We talked
if
about
you
that.
do something bad, and if you do something good, then later something good will happen to you.
Right, yeah.
And I also learned about humans and animals. Like they both eat, they both sleep, and they both defend and mate. But
Yes.
the difference between them is that humans have more intelligence.
Yes. Yes, you're right. To ask the intelligent questions, right? That what is the purpose of life? Why are we in this world? And who's God? What's my relationship with God? Humans will want to know these things, right? And they want to explore. Okay, what else, Nikita? Anything else?
Some things that can change who you are like the songs you listen to, the books you read, the people you choose to interact with.
Very important point. That's a great point. Yes. So we have to choose our company carefully, and where we invest our time, because everything affects our consciousness, right? If we will have positive interactions, positive experiences, that will give us good energy, right? Versus certain type of music, very crazy rock music or something, which is very hard, or being around violent people, or angry people, those are not the kind of things we want. Okay, what else, Nikita?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, thank you so much, and I'm glad you learned so much, and thank you for sharing all the wonderful points. Okay, who's going next? Let me pick Swadha. Would you like to go next?
Yeah. Okay. So, a few things that I learned in the class are like, are like about our bodies and souls, and that the souls are what drive our bodies, and bodies are matter and they're not conscious and they have changes, but the soul, it's spirit, it's conscious, and there are no changes, and it's eternal, it's forever, and that our bodies are only temporary. So like, you know, when we die, our soul goes into another body, and then like the cycle continues. And also like the mechanisms of the mind, like the intelligence, mind, and the five senses and stuff, and that all like affects our that's what like controls us, like in a way, like that's how we like live our lives, using those mechanisms of the mind. And also that we have to rise above our inferiority complex, like, you know, we have to think positive, we can't just like always think negative about ourselves, we shouldn't feel bad about ourselves, we should always like work towards like becoming better. And there's also like there's like scientific proof for our souls existing and like changing and stuff. And also there's like everything is being controlled by something, like the universe, there's a creator of the universe, and it's controlled by the Lord. And like, you know, like every like painting, there's an artist behind it, every like wooden sculpture, a carpenter made it, so everything has like something behind it that made it. And the last thing is also like time management, and making sure that like, you know, we like how we manage our time is what decides like how our lives are. Like, you know, if we do poor time management, then like our lives aren't going to be that great, you know, we'll be sad, we'll be like lazy and messy and stuff. But if you manage your time well, then you'll have a healthy and happy life, and you'll have time for everything, to like you can do everything that you like. And some things I liked about the class were like the discussions, how we can all like, you know, talk about like what we feel, like our opinions and stuff. And also I had like a pretty good strong understanding of a lot of these things before, because like I've learned these types of things before, but like because we talked about it more in detail, I started thinking about like the topics more, and it made me like realize a lot more about what we learned.
Oh, wow, that's great. I'm glad you're able to remember so many things. Even I don't remember all these things. So wonderful, wonderful. You absorbed so many lessons, nicely shared. Thank you so much, Soda.
Thank
That's
you.
great. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Okay, let's see. Shobh, is that Shobh? You want to go next?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go next. All right.
Yeah.
So, I made this drawing. Sorry if it's really bad, but I hope I can explain the topic. All right.
No
So,
problem. No. Yeah.
this
Please.
is for me. This is the circle of life. So, wait, that's the wrong thing. So you become a baby, then you become a toddler, then you become a teenager. Then after that, you become a big guy with big muscles and a little bit of fat, become adult. Then after that, you get old, you get wise, your back gets hunched, and after that, you die. After that, it repeats all over again, and this is the circle of life. And it keeps on repeating until you're born into a family where they do Krishna service, and after you do Krishna service, you go back to Godhead.
Nice. So you summarize the cycle of life, huh? Okay. So what should we do, Shubhangam, so that we are not stuck in this cycle of life? What are some of the things we can do to rise above the cycle of birth and death and disease? And yes.
We should chant Krishna, Hare Krishna mantra, but if you ever heard the story of Ajamila, he basically became a hunter, and then after that, he was doing very sinful things, and when he was dying, he called out for his son's name, which is Narayana, Narayana. And when he was dying, the Lord Vishnu came and sent his helpers to take him to Vaikuntha.
Okay. So you are saying we should always remember Lord and chant his names, right?
Yes.
So that purifies us, right? That can help us go back to Godhead. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, Shubhangam?
Yeah, what I really like about this class is that there was, like, I think everyone said it, but there is not a lot of homework. But like then also I like that you explain things in such an easy way, and really, like when someone summarizes something and you can really understand it, you made one of the lessons very understandable. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Shubhangam. All right. Wonderful. Okay, so next is Divit. Divit, go ahead.
So what I learned in this class was that our true identity is our soul, and the soul is the driver of the body. So when we look in the mirror, we see ourselves, but we are just made of chemicals, and that's not our true identity.
Yeah, our
And
body is a biochemical bag, right?
yeah. And the God is the supreme intelligent designer who created the universe. So just like every painting has a painter, God created the universe. Humans are superior to animals only when they inquire about the wisdom of God. Otherwise, we do all the same things and we're all the same, except that humans have the intelligence to inquire about the wisdom of God. And when the choices you make in your life, they reflect in your next life. So if you make bad choices in this life, in your next life, you'll be born you won't be born as well.
Not born
Yeah.
as human. You may go down
Yeah.
the species. You may. So human life is very rare. I think that's what you're trying to say, and we have to
Yeah.
utilize the human form of life. Okay.
And what I liked is that we got to learn a lot about the class. In this class, we learned a lot, and you made it very clear to understand everything.
Okay. Anything else, David?
No.
That's about it. Thank you so much, David. Very nice sharing. All right, Abhimanyu. Are you there, Abhimanyu?
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. So, so first I'll start with the cycle of life. So, life is actually never ending. What you look like in real life, like now, that isn't what you really look like. What you really look like actually is inside of you, the soul, which is something you can't actually see with like a microscope or something like that. And it's what controls us, and kind of like the chariot example, like so the soul is being carried in the body, and the intelligence is driving like the chariot, with the reins, which is also like an example, like the mind, and it pulls the five senses, which lets us helps our intelligence. And if you do something bad in one of your lives, you will the next life you won't be happy. You'll just be very sad. Like, bad things will happen to you. So yeah. And some people say that that God isn't real and science is what really explains everything. But really, God is the one who created science and everything about it. God is the creator of everything. And some things I liked about the class were, like everyone else, there wasn't any homework. But also because like there were also examples in the slideshows, and like and the pictures like kind of helped me understand like how everything worked. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Abhimanyu. Very nice. Okay, did I miss anyone, or we have pretty much covered everyone here? I think everyone that is here. Divit, yes, you want to say something?
I forgot to say a few things I wanted to add on.
Go ahead, please.
Whenever you do something, you shouldn't expect to be rewarded when you do it. So you should just do it and do the good things, and you shouldn't expect a reward for doing them.
Right. So we have to do our karma and not expect the result, right? Our right is only on the karma, not the result of the work, right? We have to work in that spirit. Okay.
And also,
there are multiple ways to find happiness for your mind, but you should focus on finding happiness for your soul, which you can do by reciting mantras or reading the spiritual books, the scriptures.
Yes, yes, that's right. So remember the example I gave you, we are changing the oil in the car and filling the gas, but we are not asking driver if he's hungry or not, right? We are thinking car to be the everything, right? But we are forgetting that there is a driver behind the car, and driver also needs food. So which in our case is soul, and the food for soul is connecting to God through mantras or prayers or singing. So many ways are there. Okay, excellent. Okay, anything else, David?
No, that was it.
That was it. Okay, all right. So anyone else I want to share any other points that they might have missed and now they remember before I go? Anyone else?
Yeah, I just wanted to add what I was talking about, the rounds and all that, I think when we do like all the spiritual activity.
Yes. Oh, Ila, your image froze. No, you have to start over. There was some connection issue on your end. Maybe you can turn off your video and try to speak. I see your bandwidth, it's not showing good. Yeah, now speak.
Okay, so what I was saying was when we do the spiritual activities, they sort of stay with us. Like the material things, when they don't stay with us, like money or anything we have. But I think the spiritual things, they sort of and they leave an imprint almost.
Yes, that's a very good point. So everything we do leaves an impression on us, right? So we have to be very careful, right, about what we do, right? Yeah, very good point. Anything else, Ila?
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay. So I see we missed one person, Kush. Would you be able to talk now? Kush, go ahead. If your microphone is okay. Kush, can you hear me? You're muted if you're talking. Okay, he raised his hand. He's the only one who did not speak yet, but looks like he's still having some problems. Kush, are you there? Okay, well, raise your hand when you're ready to speak again. Okay, all right. So thank you so much, everyone. It was so great having you all. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for this is our 8th class today, so we did 8 weeks of this course. I hope you all remember some of the things we learned here. And my only request to all of you is to try to continue this journey, right, in one way or other. I know you're all busy and you have your schedules. School is starting now, and for some of you, it has already started. So it's difficult to find time, but try to find some time, even 5 minutes in the day, 10 minutes in the day, whatever time you can find, and try to pray by chanting or doing some prayer or any activity we talked about, right? We offer food to God if possible. If you cook something nice, please share with God. All those activities are spiritual, right? And also try to read Bhagavad Gita. How many of you have the Bhagavad Gita book that I had sent in the link? I had asked your parents to buy. Ela, you have that book? The smaller one, not the big Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So there is a book that uh, that is a children's version, so I would send the link again to your parents if they want to buy it for you. So it's not quite as overwhelming as the big Bhagavad Gita. So, and it has fewer shlokas, so maybe you can read that book every day, 1 or 2 shloka and meaning. So that's something you can do to continue this journey. So that's my request. Please continue this journey. Don't stop. um, Try to find some way to connect to God, and keep learning, keep doing this, and then I will feel successful if you can continue that. That's what that'll be your that will be your way of appreciating what I did. I'll be really happy if you continue this journey. Okay. Now, do you have your parents there? I want to see if any parents have anything to say or they want to share something. Would you like to bring your parents in the frame or on the mic if they have anything to share?
My dad's here.
Okay. Hey, Samir. Samir, yeah, you want to say something? Girls
Oh,
read.
yeah, I want to say thank you to Ashish uncle for arranging this class. I think the kids learned a lot of new things in this class. So they are very happy and grateful. And so are we. So keep doing this. It is awesome.
All right. Thank you, Samir. Thank you, Tashitanya.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nikita, I see your mother. Maybe she wants to share something. You're on mute, Nikita.
Okay.
Okay,
Hi.
yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, namaste. So this class has been very like educative for Nikita. So and this is the first time she's attending such class. So I really appreciate how you have been keeping the students very interested. So yeah, I really like that, and it taught her, I think, a lot of good values which she can use throughout her study, as a student and also in her future life. So thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. We have any other parents who would like to share something or say something for everyone? Okay, I see. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Vinod, go ahead.
Yeah. So class was very, very wonderful. It's a eye opener for actually me also as a parents, So, and whatever we learn it in our like childhood, it's more like without rationality or without being the knowledge, and how you are explaining it, it's more like a easy way and like understandable. Well, so I really like it, and I'm actually wishing that you can able to continue this particular class or somewhere the kids can able to go and spend those type of things. But it's pretty good. And there is one more suggestion from my side is that whatever the recording, is it possible we can see those type of the recording in our off time also?
Yes. I will share the link again. So there is a channel which has the whole course, all the 8 classes. So I'll send the link for that and you can watch it. Yeah. Later.
Awesome. Thank you, Ash. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Vinod. All right. I see Avnit's dad.
Hey everyone, Dinesh this side. Hey Ashish.
Yes, hello Dinesh, go ahead. Yeah. I enjoyed listening from Avnit. Avnit, little boy, he talks so well. I was very, very happy to see him sharing such deep realizations.
Yeah, they are very interested actually. They were reading some books written in a modern way or in a childish way, and
right.
Those books are introduced the gods and little bit of Ramayana and Mahabharata concept there. So I think Arusha is the one. Avni really enjoyed that, and Avnit has also read that, and she's kind of collecting that collection of the book also.
Right.
So they were introduced this concept, and these sessions are really making it entertaining for them.
Okay.
I think it's a good concept that we are missing the roots, our roots, where we come from, and we are far away from our birthplace actually, from India, and we are losing a lot of things because of that.
Yes.
We are moving so fast, but we are not thinking about the past and the roots. And to understand those roots, I think this kind of concept, we need that actually.
Right.
It's the necessity. You can see any country which are like close to their root, they improved very much actually. If you see Japan, China, those countries are like
Germany is ahead.
Exactly. So although we are intelligent, I'm not saying we are not intelligent. We have moved so fast that we are far from our roots actually, and
Yes.
we need to understand and think in a broader view actually, and this provides a good starting point actually. for the kids.
Yeah. Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you. Okay. Do we have any other parents who want to say something or share something? Anyone else? No? Okay. All right. I see Arush, you raised the hand. You want to say something? And turn on your camera also, Arush.
Yeah, and not just like us are losing our roots. India is also like a lot of kids in India won't know Bhagavad Gita. So it's good Prabhupada raised awareness in ISKCON. And I think if, we can distribute these books and share the knowledge, hopefully other people who weren't as lucky as us to be enlightened on this will become enlightened. And even if they say, no, it's fine. I mean, you can just give to other people. Basically what I'm saying is, though not everyone's lucky enough to be enlightened with this, definitely do distribute books and all this other stuff.
Yeah. So we are all very
Share the recordings
fortunate.
too.
We are, we are here in this group and, trying to learn about these things. There are so many people who are looking for this message, and it's unfortunate that they don't know the way, right? So we are very lucky, and we should make the best of this opportunity, right, that we have got to learn more and connect to our roots and see our great culture, right? If you, to the point that Dinesh mentioned here, that, we are far away from our roots. Our culture is so great, the Indian culture, that if you just go back as little as 5,000 years ago, there was no other civilization in the world, right? And I'm talking about civilization. I'm not talking about just humans walking. So, and I'm sure you all have learned about the Indus Valley civilization, right? They even found the proof of very advanced civilization living there, right? So that's the example. Just 5,000 years ago, I'm not even going back. I mean, actually, our history goes back much beyond that. So it's marvelous that this culture has, survived the test of time. And even today, we are learning about Ramayana and Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita. It's such a great culture. So we should treasure it, and we should learn more and more, and continue with it, right? Just because we have become, very advanced, and we have a lot of gadgets, we can't not learn those things. It's very important that we learn those things. Okay, anybody else has anything to share? All right, well, if not, then thank you so much. It was great pleasure having you all. I wish you all the best, and hopefully we will again do this next summer. And in the meantime, I will send the information about the classes that will happen in the temple for the next 1 year. So there are classes on these spiritual topics that the temple will conduct. Although I will not be teaching, but there'll be some other very qualified teacher who would be doing that. So you can join those classes. They also happen every Sunday, and they will happen on Zoom. So continue that. And if there is any question, please feel free to reach out to me. Your parents have my number. Always, if you have any question, never hesitate to ask me. Okay, I'll be happy to answer that for you. And yeah, let's stay in touch. All the best. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ashish uncle.
Bye.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.